Welcome to the Great on Purpose podcast. My name is Alfonzo Alexander and I am your host. In each episode of this podcast, you will have the opportunity to get to meet leaders from various backgrounds, various industries who are really just cool people doing great things on purpose. They are pursuing their purpose and pursuing greatness and walking in lockstep as they do it. You'll understand what we mean more about that as you get into the podcast. Our goal here is to help you understand that being great is not just something that happens. It is something that has to be done on purpose and in alignment with your purpose. Therefore, this is the Great on Purpose podcast. Enjoy.
Today's episode, Saying What You Want, features Alfonzo Alexander's conversation with Courtney Pender. Courtney is a dedicated change agent, providing 10 years of progressive success within human resources. She is a goal-oriented, resourceful, and respected leader known for cultivating and maintaining key relationships and improving operations through devising new programs, policies, and best practices. Courtney excels in fast-paced, challenging environments and works well with all levels of personnel. Take a listen.
Hello, this is Alfonzo Alexander. Welcome to the Great on Purpose podcast, where we talk about how important it is to be great on purpose. We believe that greatness is a journey that we're on. We're trying to achieve this level of greatness, but along the way, there are also intermittent great things and intermittent levels of greatness that we can reach. But we're best equipped to do that when we're intentional about it and when we're in alignment with our purpose. So hence the Great on Purpose podcast. Well, today we have a special treat for you, and I am going to introduce you to my friend Courtney Pender. Courtney is a phenomenal woman who is epitomizing being great on purpose. Courtney, say hello and tell us a little bit about who you are.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Courtney. I'm happy to be here. I want to start by first thanking Alfonzo for having me on the show. So thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity. Let's see. As far as who I am Courtney Pender, a Nashville native. I am from the Bordeaux area. I went to Whites Creek High School, went to Middle Tennessee State University, and Western Governors University, where I obtained an MBA. I've been in the Nashville area my entire life, love it. And I serve as the Vice President of Human Resources for the Americas at Sony Music Publishing. So outside of that, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, so I wear many crowns. And so that's just a little bit about me.
Well, thank you, Courtney, for that great introduction. And now we know you a little bit better, but you and I have known each other for quite some time, a very long time. In fact, I want you to share with everybody again a little bit of a history or scope of our relationship.
We have known each other for a very long time. So I met Alfonzo in the 11th grade. So I was a junior in high school at Whites Creek. And, all I kept hearing from my parents were, you need to join the Inroads program. You need to join the Inroads program. And they weren't a part of the Inroads program, but wanted to make sure that I was a part of the Inroads program. And so that is initially how we met, Alfonzo. I was a child and I had parents that were pushing me to develop even back then, right? And to making sure that I had opportunities to do so. And part of that was joining Inroads, where I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but you were the regional director of the Inroads program at that time. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so anyone that's familiar with the Inroads program knows that the focus was developing minority youth. And so we would meet every Saturday, bright and early, coming in with our suit jackets on, and everyone prepared to meet Alfonzo Alexander's expectations for the day. You had to come in prepared, ready to work and ready to learn. And honestly, through that, you kind of became a mentor to me, something I held closely to, and the things that I learned and the relationships that were built, it just kind of flourished over time. I've hung on to them my entire career. And so that's really the start of our relationship is, me joining the the Inroads program, turning that into an internship, a paid internship by the time I graduated from high school, all under your leadership. And so thereafter, my internship turned into a full-time job working for you as your executive assistant. And so really, I honestly met you through mentorship, leadership, attached myself to that and said, I want to soak up and learn everything this man has to teach me. And so that's the evolution of kind of how we met. And yeah, what am I missing? I know I'm missing something.
Well, you're missing all the great things that you've done since then, because that one role that you had working with me really was just a start to help get you going. And I know you're an executive at Sony now, but along the way, you really were intentional about your course, and you really epitomized being purposeful in your pursuit for great things. Why don't you talk about that a little bit?
We've had many conversations over the years. And even when I was working with you as your executive assistant, I would often talk to you about my goal of moving into human resources. One of the things that I believe has attributed to my career the most is the ability to make a decision about my career path and commit to it. And a lot of people have a hard time just making a decision, right? And it's not easy. I certainly don't mean to present it as though it's an easy thing to do. But once you have come to the decision of knowing, I want to do this or I want to do that, you build a plan around it. And so even back then in 2009, as your executive assistant, I was talking to you about what was next, right? And how can I make that next move? And that kind of just speaks to the, being intentional and understanding where my interests were, what I was passionate about, and building plans around how to accomplish those things.
Courtney, can I take a moment just to say something about that? Because I want everybody to understand something here. So Courtney graduated from college. She worked as an intern. She was adamant that she wanted to be in human resources when she graduated. But many of you guys may know, some of you may not, that to get a job in human resources is awkward. You have to have experience, and they want you to have some HR experience before they will hire you. So many people who graduate from college with degrees in human resources have to go do something else first, and then they can get into human resources. And so for me, I recognized that Courtney had great talent. Courtney was a leader. She was a leader on her campus. She was a leader in her sorority on her campus. And I'd seen her as a leader all the way from high school going through college, and somebody who, when she made up her mind she wanted to do something, she could get it done. And so at the time I said, you know what, I have a need for an executive assistant. And it just so happens that in the scope of the organization at the time, the human resources department reported to me. So I could make sure that Courtney got exposure in human resources and got projects so that she could build that as part of her portfolio. And I remember us having a conversation and said, hey, look, if you give me 12, 18, 24 months in this role, you will be positioned so that you can go into HR. Now, I don't say that to, brag about anything that I've done, but I do say that to encourage people. If you have the ability to pour into somebody and to help them, take advantage of that and do that, because that executive assistant role was just one step along the way for Courtney now to be a VP level in HR. And it's not her first senior level HR role either. So Courtney, I just wanted to help people understand your drive and how that encouraged me to invest in you.
Thank you so much. That's exactly what you did. In that interview for that first, HR role where HR was in the title, et cetera, I was able to draw from the experiences from that executive assistant position, right? It was an executive assistant role, but the opportunities that you gave me to partner on different projects with HR and other teams really helped me sell myself in and to give me the experience I needed for people to take a chance on me. And that is super important. It's the foundation, right? And, I think that that really spearheaded my career. And from there, I think you have to have a certain combination of perseverance, confidence, being solutions driven. All of those things I would say are secrets to my personal success. From a perseverance standpoint, I'll be honest, I'm not a person that takes no for an answer. And your no, I will turn it into somebody else's yes, right? And I'm able to do that because I am confident enough in my abilities, my skill set. And I know what I've accomplished. And I think that self-doubt oftentimes prevents us from reaching our maximum levels of success, right? And, there's been a lot of sleepless nights, lots of work put in over the last, 10 to 15 years pursuing this career. So if you think back in 2009 and it's 2021, and in 2009 I was an executive assistant. That's 12 years. That didn't happen without being very intentional, without being fearless in my pursuit of my professional aspirations, and without taking some risk, right? I think we've got to talk a little bit about the risk because every time you take a new job, you're risking a little bit. Is it going to work out? Is it not? But what happens if you don't take that opportunity? What happens if you stay where you are and you never move? What does that do for your fulfillment? Are you fulfilled? Are you challenging yourself? Are you open to challenges? No, you're not going to have all the answers. You're not going to figure it out. But are you willing to do what it takes, right? That's where the perseverance comes in. I've often taken roles where I'm like, gosh, this is new. This is bigger than me, right? But then I put in the work to bring it home. Mm-hmm. And the two go hand in hand. One of the things that I feel strongly makes me valuable to organizations is my ability or focus on being solutions driven. I'm the person people come to when they need the answer. They need help. There's a problem. There's a disconnect. There's an operational gap. You need someone to fix it. That's my skill set. From a process standpoint, people solutions-based skills, standpoint, we've got a problem. I'm typically the person that they come to fix it, which makes me invaluable no matter the project, no matter the organization. And I have found that to be my niche. What else?
I love it. So when you're thinking about you coming out of college and, put yourself in those shoes again, and if there's a young person out there who has aspirations to be a leader, what's some advice you would give that person?
My advice, and I get this a lot, my advice would be, you've got to start first by knowing what you want to do. It can't be, oftentimes I speak to people and they've got all kinds of ideas. None of them are bad, they're all good. But a person who lacks focus and commitment will never reach their true height. And it's because they're all over the place, right? You can't focus on 10 things at one time. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? If you can start with answering that question, that's 25%. I want to be in human resources. Great. Is it benefits? Is it talent acquisition? Is it, do you want to be a business partner? What does that look like? Or I want to be a lawyer. Great. I need for people to understand how important it is to make decisions and commit to them. Doesn't mean it won't change, but you've got to start with a decision first. Once that decision is made, whatever your career path is, research. What does it take? What are the KSAs necessary to excel in this role? What knowledge do I need? What skills do I need? What abilities do I need to have? How am I going to be expected to execute? Is it professional certifications? Is it a degree? In today's time, it may not be a degree, right? It may not be college. Whatever it is, what do I need to do to accomplish this goal and to head down this career path? That's the other 25. So the first 25% is committing and making a decision about what career you want to have. The next 25%, I'd say, is acquiring the skills necessary to have that career. The other 50% is strictly the relentless pursuit and perseverance around the plan. Whatever plan you've put in place, 50% of it is you deciding, I'm going to do this. Nothing's going to stop me. I'm going to put the work in. And the execution of the plan you've developed to accomplish this career. That's the most important piece. It's 50%, in my personal opinion. I believe that I love when you use the words intentional. Stop winging it. Stop winging it. If it could be done by winging it, everybody would have it, right? Stop winging it. Be intentional. Study your craft. Invest in yourself, in your craft. You are only going to get out what you put in. So if you aren't prepared for interviews, prepared for networking, or prepared for anything, if you're just waking up and winging it, that ain't gonna cut it, right? So, and I don't mean to be hard on people, I'm just being honest with people, right? Yeah. The people that you often see or aspire to are up before you and going to bed after you. And you've got to be willing to do the work. One other thing or piece of advice I might give is to understand that there are going to be times you have to take some steps backward in order to move forward, and to not be afraid to do so, right? Every situation isn't going to be ideal. So internships, working pro bono, volunteering for a friend's business, anything you can do that gets you more experience or understanding, knowledge about the particular area you're interested in, I'd recommend you do. And understanding that you're gonna get fired, it may happen. Happened to me, right? You're gonna be laid off. Happened to me. It's not about that. It's about redirecting. It's about persevering. And when things get off track, getting quickly back refocused. That's how you accomplish any goal, no matter what the goal is.
Excellent, excellent. Courtney, you just laid out a formula that is perfect in terms of describing great on purpose. I mean, you said, okay, 25% here, 25% here, and this other 50% there. That is the formula that you have used to achieve the things that you've achieved and to continue on that journey toward greatness. What's amazing to me is that formula is what you have honed in on and what you know works for you. It could probably work for millions of other people as well, but there may be some other formulas out there. The key thing is get a formula.
Yes.
Pursue this greatness on purpose. Be very intentional about what you do. So I really appreciate you sharing that sharing that with us. Hey, tell me, what's like the most exciting thing going on in your life right now? What do you have going?
Well, personally, I am having a baby. So
Okay,
I will
okay.
tell you that we've talked a lot professionally, but personally, I am expecting a baby girl in December. So my husband and I, we just sent our oldest to kindergarten just this past August. And now we'll have a newborn again. So we kind of feel like we're starting over, right? It's a bit of a shift we're preparing for, but we're excited about it. And that is definitely the most exciting thing happening in my life personally right now. Um,
Excellent.
Professionally, uh,
Congratulations.
no doubt, thank you.
Yeah.
Professionally, I don't know if I would describe it as exciting, but COVID is keeping every HR professional busy around the world, right?
Mhm.
I think that, we were all caught off guard, obviously, by the pandemic. We've also been caught off guard by the heavy politicizing of the pandemic, and it is front and center. And I don't know if I describe it as exciting, but as a person who likes a challenge, I think COVID is definitely delivering. So that is what's happening day in, day out. We're living and breathing it day in, day out professionally. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's a big deal. And I know every HR person that I've spoken with over the last year and a half, just because of the constant change and the newness even of all of this, it's been quite interesting for all of you guys. So appreciate you sharing that as well. When you look back over the career moves that you've made, you talked about starting as an executive assistant and now you're VP of Human Resources. Along the way, what are some of the lessons that you gained in terms of how to strategically move and manage your career?
That's a really good question. And honestly, there's so many. I'm trying to just think. Some of the lessons I feel like I've learned is that I think that it's important, when you're starting out your career, you're looking for stability. You're looking to get the experience, but you've got to eat, right?
Mhm.
You're looking. It's this weird combination of I'm pursuing my career, but I also need financial stability. And you're looking at the job and feeling as though, you should be feeling blessed to be there, right? They're giving me this opportunity, almost as if you don't deserve it, right?
Mm.
And that I'm lucky to have this, right? But as you shift and you get more financially stable and you're more intentional about your career and your goal plan, you pivot into now assessing whether the opportunity works for you. Does it meet my needs? Because you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Does it meet my needs? Because it's not just about you being an asset to the job or the role. It's also about how this company is serving me and what purpose is serving you and your goals and your plans. Are you learning? Are you attached to a great leader? Are you continuing to develop in that role, right? And so I'd say, getting back to your question, some of the things I've learned as I've navigated my career is that it's just as important for me to be the right fit for the job or the role as it is for the job to be a right fit for me. And one isn't more important than the other. So does that make sense? Let me know if that.
It makes absolute sense. Fit is so critical, and from a motivational fit, from a passion, and all of those things, fit is so very critical to what you need to be successful. And I think it is also, your fit is determined partially because of alignment with your purpose. Because there are a lot of great jobs, a lot of great careers, a lot of great businesses out there that any of us could be engaged in. But just because it's a great one doesn't mean it's the great one for us and the right one for us. And so that fit is so critically important. And I know that's a lot of times what you look for when hiring.
That's right. I also think that it's important that we're not afraid to walk away from situations that are no longer serving us. You know, every role, every opportunity serves a purpose. You're serving a purpose and it's serving a purpose for you. And sometimes that road ends, and not being afraid to take on the next challenge, it has been key and something that has helped me learn. I've worked in a number of different industries. So the great thing about human resources is that the skills are so transferable. So hospitality, telecommunications, automotive, and now the music industry, right? None of those things, I didn't stay in one industry. It's got to be healthcare. I forgot to even mention that one, right? It doesn't matter. The challenge for me is I don't know the music industry. Well, I'm gonna go learn it, right?
There you go. Yeah.
It's being able to take on challenges, making sure that the roles that you're in are also serving you and a part of your plan, and not just us feeling like we're there to serve the business's purpose. How is this role serving you? And that's one of the big pieces I've learned in the evolution of my career. And each job I have worked, there's been a goal. What am I here to learn? Is it people leading skills? Is it, what's my goal for this role? Mm-hmm. Know that going in. And when you get it, then you got to make another goal. That's how you keep climbing, right?
Yep.
So.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I think a concept that a lot of people don't understand is that, sometimes we forget that a role should be something that we're getting gratification out of. It should be serving us as well as what we're giving to it. And not just the financial, because the financial, it'll fade. You can be making money and not be happy. But I love that. And your testament of not being constrained to one industry and locked into something, but stretch yourself and continue to grow. That's amazing. Courtney, just about probably every time that we've had conversations over the years, I try to at some point ask you, how can I help you? What can I do to be helpful to you? So today is no exception to that. I'd love to today identify something that I can do to be helpful to you.
This platform is helpful to me. And it is because I'm in a transitional time in my journey. And I say that to say that a lot of time over the last 10 plus years of my career has been focused on the plan. The plan is this, the plan is that, here's the next goal, and centered around my professional aspirations for myself. And I'm looking to pivot now that I've accomplished my goals. I'm young. I kind of don't know what's next, right? So I'm a 34-year-old vice president of human resources. What's next?
Kudos.
And thank you. But what is next?
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like? I'm not sure I thought that I'd be this far so young. What does that look like? And the challenge that constantly is at my front door is, can you teach? Can you teach me? Can you help me? How did you do this? And as a teacher, Alfonzo, one of my teachers, I'd love to partner with you and have you help me understand how to shift from a focus on my professional aspirations to now pouring into others. And I've not spent the last 10 years doing that, but it's something that I'm wanting to transition to.
Yeah.
And would love your advice on. So,
hey, we can do it. And I think it's time. You've experienced enough, and now I hate to say you have the obligation,
I
But
know,
in a
but it's
sense,
true.
as you grow and lead, it becomes an obligation to help develop other people. So partially because you don't want the work that you've established to fade whenever you move on to the next chapter. So definitely I can help you with that. Would love to do that. Let's pick some time soon to get together and kind of chart out a plan, and we can go down that journey together for sure.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So Courtney, what in closing, if there's something that you'd like to say that would encourage or inspire or even challenge somebody that's listening today, what would that be?
Challenge. I like a good challenge.
Okay.
My challenge would be stop winging it. Stop winging it. If you are in a place in your life where you know that you are not bringing your best self, you're not showing up. You're showing up, but you're not showing up. You've got to hold yourself personally accountable for doing so. And no one else is going to be able to do that for you. No leader, no teacher, no mentor. It starts with self. And so I would say the self-awareness and the internal look at, am I bringing my A game? Am I being my best self? Am I showing up, or am I just complaining without doing the work? I would challenge you to take that self-assessment and take action on whatever the answer is.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Everybody out there listening, take her up on the challenge, because it's one that's meaningful. It's one that can help you lead to success. It is definitely the formula for being great on purpose. Again, I say being great on purpose is not something that happens by accident. I'm going to borrow Courtney's term, stop winging it. Everybody, let's be intentional about the success and this greatness that's in front of us, and let's go get it by being intentional about it. Courtney, it's been phenomenal to talk with you. I'm glad that we got a chance to sit down and do this. Look forward to us getting together, me helping you craft your new plan where you can help teach others about the path that you're on, and learn from your successes and your challenges, so that we can help each other all be better tomorrow than we are today. Thank you so much for coming. Look forward to us getting a chance to chat again.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Thank you for tuning in to the Great on Purpose podcast. I am Alfonzo Alexander. Please be sure to follow me on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook so that you can continue to hear stories and get information that can help inspire you to be great on purpose.